Hi, I'm Kate. I'm also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and in this video I'm going to share my process for reading a card that initially might not make any sense at all. So I think we've all been here before. You know, you've probably experienced doing a reading for yourself or someone else, and you pull a card, you turn it over, and it just doesn't make sense to you. You have no idea what it means or how to even read it. And you may be tempted to throw that card back in the deck and pick a better card. Don't do that. Instead, I'm going to share with you my process for how I read these cards. But first, a little bit of a story. So this summer, I went to a festival, and it was it was a really lovely festival. It was sort of like a hippie, spiritual, wellnessy type of festival. There was ecstatic dance, sound healing, breathwork, yoga, meditation, stuff like that. And when I bought my ticket, I was informed that this is a sober festival. So there's no substances at this festival. This is a sober festival. That was kind of one of the agreements. So I thought, okay, so I'm at this festival. I arrive, I get set up, very sober. And I start to kind of move around the festival grounds, and I'm meeting people, I'm chatting with people, and it just kind of seems like everyone is like really weirdly positive and like really kind of blissed out. And so people that I talk to are saying things like, "Oh, this is so amazing. Oh, I just feel the energy. Like the energy here is so powerful, and I'm feeling the energies." And I'm like, okay, I guess. And people are saying things like, "Oh, everyone here is so amazing and so beautiful, and everything is so wonderful, and like, oh, everything's so sacred and magical, and the energies." And I'm like, I am not feeling it. Like, everyone here is lovely and everything is really enjoyable, but like, I'm just not feeling like all these powerful energies. I'm not having these mystical experiences or anything like that. Like, I just feel like myself. And I feel like this is a regular day for me. And after a while, and after a few of these conversations, I started to like ask myself, like, is something wrong with me? Like, why am I not feeling the magic? Like, how come everyone else is having this like weirdly like cosmic, orgasmic experience, and I'm just like myself? And I started to think, like, are my chakras blocked? Is my heart chakra blocked? Is my aura dim? Like, what's going on? I'm not feeling the magic. I just feel normal, like myself. And I kind of started to spiral a little bit in my head, but then I was just way too grounded to really spiral. So then I decided to like leave the crowd of people and just kind of take a walk. So I get away from everyone, and I'm kind of wandering, and I come across this tent. It's this big red tent that's kind of away from everything. And there's this big sign outside the tent that says, "Please take off your shoes." So I kind of like peek inside the tent, and there's no one in there, but there's all these beautiful pillows kind of scattered around, and then there's all these low tables that are just covered in different oracle decks. So there's all these different oracle decks in this tent. And I thought, oh, perfect. This is just what I need. I just need a few minutes to just chill by myself and look at oracle cards. So I sit down, and there's all different oracle decks, and I'm kind of looking at them. And the one that I was most drawn to was an oracle deck that I actually have at home. It's called the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck by Izzy Ivy. And this is a deck I've had for a few years, and I just love the art on it. I think it's gorgeous, but I never really use it, to be honest. And so I thought, okay, great, I'm gonna check this deck out because I have this deck. So I'm sitting there with the cards, and I asked the cards, how can I feel the magic this weekend? Because I wanted to tap into whatever it was that everyone else seemed to be feeling. This like feeling of like ecstatic bliss and love and connection and energy. I was like, I want to feel that. Like, why am I not feeling that? So I asked the cards, how can I feel the magic? And the card I drew was this one. It says, "Our Ancient Future." And it's a beautiful card. I was like, ooh, it's pretty. But I looked at it and I'm like, it doesn't make sense. I asked, how can I feel the magic? And I get our ancient future. I'm like, this makes no sense. And I wanted to just throw the card back in the deck and pick another one. But I'm like, I'm always telling people in my classes not to do that. So I should not do that. So I sat with the card, and as I gazed at it, you know, I noticed how pretty it was. But as I looked at it, I began to feel pissed off. And I began to feel annoyed because this card wasn't answering my question at all. It seemed totally disconnected from me, which is how I felt at this festival, kind of disconnected from this magic that everyone else seemed to be tapping into. So, so I thought, okay. And instead of putting the card back in the deck, I asked myself, what is it about this card that annoys me so much? Why do I not like this card that I've been given? And honestly, it was because it's a very beautiful card. I mean, if you look at this card, it's a magical, a super magical looking card. And I felt like, yeah, this is how I want to feel. This is the magic I want to tap into. But instead, I just feel like a human being on Earth right now. And I felt annoyed by the beauty of this card because I'm like, it's showing me all this magic, but like, it's not telling me how to get it. And like, I just feel this disconnect. Like this deck isn't seeing me. It's not seeing my soul. I just feel unseen right now. So I thought, okay. So I kind of thought, that's interesting. And then I kept gazing at this card, and I think an ambulance is going by my house. Okay, and so I keep gazing at this card, and the first thing I notice is the number, which is 39. Number 39. And because I'm kind of in the habit right now of like adding numbers together and then finding the corresponding tarot cards, I thought I'm gonna add these numbers together. So 3 plus 9 is 12. The card in the tarot that corresponds with the number 12 is the Hanged Man. And I thought, oh, now we're finally getting somewhere. I kind of feel like the Hangman right now. I kind of feel like I'm sort of powerless and kind of stuck. But then I further added that number, 12, so 1 plus 2, and I got 3, which is the Empress. So I thought, okay, the Empress is all about... The Empress is all about, like, accepting things as they are, just being very, like, in the now. And the Empress is very much a woman who, or a goddess, who doesn't seek to change others. She doesn't seek to change herself. She's very receptive. And she's receptive to what is, and that is where a lot of her power comes from. So I asked myself, okay, if the Empress was in my position right now, and she was at this festival, and she just wasn't feeling the magic and the powerful energies that everyone else was feeling, how would she handle it? What would she do? And I thought, well, she wouldn't do anything. She would be okay with it. She would say, I'm feeling something different than everyone else, and that's fine, and I'm fine, and there's nothing wrong with me. And as I kind of had that like thought, a weight kind of lifted from my shoulders. I thought, okay, now I'm getting somewhere. And so then I kept looking at the card. I'm like, okay, there's more to be seen here. And then the other thing I noticed about this card, and I should mention that this deck has a guidebook, and I did look up this card in the guidebook, and I read the whole blurb, and it still didn't make sense for my question. I still didn't get anywhere with it. So then I look at this card and I'm like, okay, what is the symbol that I'm like most drawn to on this card? And the symbol that I was immediately drawn to was the pearl at the bottom right here. So there's a pearl sitting in an oyster, and I was immediately drawn to that pearl. So then I thought about that symbol and what it represents, and pearls are created, basically a pearl is like a grain of sand that gets stuck in an oyster shell, and it causes irritation. And the little creature, the little oyster creature, I think secretes certain things that then around this grain of sand to protect itself, and over time that crystallizes and it forms this pearl. It turns into a pearl. So pearls are these beautiful things that are born of irritation. And I thought, oh, that's so interesting, because I feel kind of irritated right now. Honestly, I'm irritated that everyone around me seems so positive and just glowing and spiritual, connected to this like sacred side of life. And here I am just feeling like myself and not feeling the magic. And I thought, okay, so maybe that irritation is okay. Maybe I don't need to shift it. Maybe I don't need to change it. Maybe I just need to accept that this is how I am right now. So again, I felt this weight lift off my shoulders. And then I'm like, okay, I feel okay now. I'm okay. I'm okay as I am. I'm just going to now take myself out of this tent and back to the festival and just enjoy myself. And that's what I did. Now there's more to this story, which I'll get into in a sec, but that is essentially my process for decoding or reading a card if it doesn't initially make sense. So in the end, I got a lot from this card. This card really had my back. It gave me some really good guidance that actually was meaningful and helped me in that moment. And so when you get a card that initially doesn't make a lot of sense, you might need to take a different kind of approach to reading this card. So you need to sit with it. Notice what symbols you're drawn to. Notice if there's a number on the card. What does that number mean to you? And this might feel like walking into an enchanted dark forest and you're just meandering along a winding path and you're just spotting things and you're noticing things. And sometimes you'll go off on a direction and it won't lead to anywhere. But that's fine. You get back on the path, you go off in another direction. Eventually one of the paths is going to lead somewhere. So I also explored other symbols on this card which didn't bring me any insights, but eventually I hit on one that did. So that is my process for reading a card that initially doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so I leave the tent, I go back to the festival, and and I have a great time. I have a good time. And I still don't feel the magic that everyone's feeling. People are still talking about the energy and stuff like that, and I'm like, all right. But I'm not feeling like there's something wrong with me. Before I was like, are my chakras blocked? You know, what's going on? So I feel okay with it. And then the next day, I'm having this conversation with a woman, and she says, you know, yesterday I was feeling kind of stuck. And so this morning I woke up and I just took a little bit of MDMA. And now I feel fantastic. And I'm just really like feeling connected to people and I'm feeling the love. I was like, oh, okay. And then I go off, I'm having another conversation with someone that I just met, this woman, and she says, you know, I woke up this morning and I thought today's the day I'm going to eat all my magic mushrooms. I brought magic mushrooms with me and I'm going to have them. And I ate them and now I'm just like really tripping, really having a trip. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And then I'm thinking, is everyone here high? Like, is that what my problem is? And then I meander off, and later on that day I'm having a conversation with a man and he says, oh yeah, I had the worst sleep last night. I woke up, I felt horrible. So I had 2 shots of vodka and then I had some ketamine. And now I feel great. And I was like, oh, okay. I think the issue is, the reason why I wasn't feeling the magic that everyone else was feeling is that there's a very good possibility that most of the people were a little bit high, or maybe a lot high. And I was sober, and maybe that was my issue. So yeah, there was really nothing wrong with me. So here I was doubting myself, thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why can't I feel all these energies, and why don't I feel the magic? And maybe because I was sober in that moment and everyone else was tripping. Having said that, I have had those experiences while sober where you do like connect to these powerful energies and you feel the love and you feel this connection. So it's totally possible to feel the magic being totally sober. But in this particular instance, I just felt like myself. I just felt like a human being in day-to-day life. Nothing felt super magical. and that was okay. So I would love to know what you thought of this video. Share your thoughts below. Did you try my method and what happened? Did you find it helpful? And if you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel, share, leave me a comment. It really helps my channel out. And of course, you can check out the rest of my channel or my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I've got tons of fun tarot learning resources on there for you to check out. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.